consider raising interest rates to control prices. Gold, on the other hand, benefited from the decline on other risk assets and rose to $2,746. So maybe with the incoming volatility, we'll have a lot of opportunities for the price to make a big movement for this week. Hi everyone, this is Isaac Martinez, trader and analyst here at Xchief. In today's market analysis, we will dive into the key fundamentals and technicals shaping the market this week. Let's break down the most important events you need to watch and how they could impact your trading strategies. As always, we like to start with the economic calendar, and don't forget that we always base all these hours on GMT -5, which can be applied to Quito, Bogota, and Lima. So the first fundamental for the week will be on Monday, October 28, 12:30 p.m. The Bank of Canada Governor Macklem speaks. The governor of the Bank of Canada, Macklem, will be giving a speech that could provide clues about future monetary policy in Canada. When central bank officials speak, markets often react about future interest rates hikes or cuts, which can impact the value of the Canadian dollar. Next day, Tuesday, October 29th at 9 a.m., CV Consumer Confidence. This report measures how confident consumers are about the U.S. economy. If people feel good about their income and job prospects, they tend to spend more, which helps the economy grow. A lower confidence level could indicate that people are worried about the future. 10 a.m. JOLTS job openings. This report shows how many job positions are available in the US. It's a key sign of the health of the job market. A high number of openings suggests that companies are actively hiring, which can be good for economic growth. Next day, Wednesday, October 30th, we will have all day the German Preliminary Consumer Price Index, the CPI. This is a measure of inflation in Germany, the largest economy in Europe. It tracks the change in price of goods and services. High inflation can lead to the European Central Bank taking steps to slow down the economy by raising interest rates. 7:15 a.m. ADP non-farm employment change. This report tracks changes in private sector employment in the US, excluding the farming sector. It's an important number because it shows job creation. More jobs mean economic growth, while a lower figure might signal trouble. 7:30 a.m. Advanced Gross Domestic Product, the GDP. GDP measures the overall economic growth in the US. A high GDP indicates a strong economy, while weak growth could be a sign of economic challenges. This is one of the most important indicators of the market. Thursday, October 21st, 7:30 a.m. Canada monthly GDP. This indicator shows the month-to-month economic growth in Canada. Positive growth suggests the economy is in good shape, while a contraction could be a warning sign for investors. The same hour, we will have the core personal consumption expenditure Price Index, which is the monthly report. This index is one of the Federal Reserve's favorite measures of inflation. If inflation is high, the Fed may consider raising interest rates to control prices. Also, in the same hour, we will have the Employment Cost Index, the quarterly report. This report measures how much companies are paying for labor, which can influence inflation. If labor costs rise too much, businesses might pass those costs onto consumers in the form of higher prices. And finally, we will have also the unemployment claims. This weekly report shows how many people are filing for unemployment benefits. A high number indicates weakness in the job market, while a low number suggests the economy is doing well. Finally, we will have Friday, November 1st, 7:30 a.m. average hourly earnings, the monthly report. This report shows how wages are changing in the US. High wages can lead into more consumer spending, which is good for the economy, but it can also drive inflation higher. At the same hour, 7:30 a.m. to non-farm payrolls. This is one of the most important reports on the US labor market. It shows how many new jobs have been created, excluding the farming sector. Strong job growth is a sign of a healthy economy. We will also have the unemployment rate and the ESM Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, which both of them can bring volatility to the markets. Now let's head to the most important news of the week, and we will start with the last trading day, which was Friday, when financial markets started strong, but gains quickly faded, with stocks and cryptocurrencies struggling against bearish forces while gold strengthened throughout the day. US bond yields, particularly the 10-year Treasury note, remained the focal point of volatility. After dropping in the morning, the yield rallied back to 40.25%, hurting risk assets. This led to a mixed close in major indices. The Nasdaq gained 0.56%, the Dow lost 0.61%, and the SP 500 finished relatively flat. In the crypto market, the news had a significant impact. A report from the Wall Street Journal alleged that Tether, the issuer of USDT, the world's largest stablecoin, was under criminal investigation for potentially violating money laundering rules and sanctions. This caused Bitcoin's price to drop sharply, experiencing a 4.3% price swing. The cryptocurrency fell from $68,700 to a low of $65,800 before recovering slightly after Tether's CEO Paolo Ardoino denied that the company was under investigation. Gold, on the other hand, benefited from the decline on other risk assets and rose to $2,746, an increase of 0.41% for the day. With the US presidential elections approaching, analysts expect continued volatility in the crypto market. The race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris is increasingly close, adding further uncertainty. Tim Krapchudnovsky, CEO of Xchief, noted that the political rhetoric has intensified, likening the situation to a Hollywood movie where candidates make any promise to win votes. In terms of cryptocurrencies, analysts see a significant impact depending on who wins the election. Ryan Lee, chief analyst at BitGet Research, mentioned that if Harris wins, we might see more regulation in the crypto market, which could lead to a more structured and compliant environment. Through short-term market volatility could arise from regulatory concerns. On the other hand, if Trump wins, there may be less regulatory pressure, but increased market volatility due to his economic and foreign policies. Trump has shown support for Bitcoin, and if his chances of winning rise, we could see a positive price impact known as the Trump trade. In both scenarios, broader economic policies such as inflation control and international trade will be crucial in shaping the future of Bitcoin and the crypto market. For many traders, volatility will be unavoidable until the elections are settled and the future regulatory landscape for cryptocurrencies becomes clearer. And now let's go to the graphics, and as always we start with the US dollar index. You need to know that most of the assets you are evaluating to make trades or maybe to make projections for the future, you always need to start with the DXY, the US dollar index. As you can see, with the 4 hours interval, there is a clear upward structure. We have several bearish targets for this week and none of them were touched. So if we continue with this momentum, with this bullish momentum, it is more likely to continue seeing an upward movement with the DXY, with the US dollar index. So yes, we have several objectives here, several targets, but you need to take into account that maybe the targets for this week will be also bullish. So I will keep this target here, but first of all, I would like to first reach this target, which is located in 104.570. After this, at 104.799. These will be my two main targets for this week. On the other hand, what do we need to see to confirm our market structure shift? The first point I would like you to understand would be this point of the price, which is located here. So let me put here a line, and with the first target at 103.816, I think the price will get to this point to give us the first clues to consider a market structure shift, but the confirmation will come when the price break this point of the price, which is located at 103.421. Only after breaking these two targets, we could see a confirmation in this interval of time of a market structure shift to a downward structure. It will be kind of difficult to see a big movement when we're talking about this market structure shift, but don't forget that this week we will have a lot of fundamentals. So maybe with the incoming volatility, we'll have a lot of opportunities for the price to make a big movement for this week. Next chart, SP 500. Maybe the first thing I would like to explain to you is that we put a bearish target here at 5,795, and that was the only target that we touched this week. After the price touched this target, we saw a reaction from the price, an upward movement that took the price to $5,862, and then the price fall. This week, I think it was not so interesting for me to trade the SP 500 because we didn't have a clear direction from the price. So when you don't see clear movements from the price, when your strategy doesn't show you the clear aspects that you need to take into consideration before making a new trade, it is better to stay out of the market instead of trying to catch a trade that could make you lose big amounts of money. So take into consideration for your strategy if you are trading the SP 500 this week that we touch the first target, and we also touch this part of the price where the SP 500, as you can see, it took liquidity from this part, from this minimum, from this low, which was located at $5,764, and after this the price is trying to make a new upward movement. So for this week, considering the SP 500 has taken liquidity from this part, from this low of the price, it is highly possible to try to make an upward movement that can reach this objective, this target, $5,878, which is the all-time high of the SP 500. Next chart, we are going to see Euro USD, and the thing that you need to consider is all the movement that we have been watching with the Euro USD. It is clear the movement that the Euro dollar is making right now. If you are seeing a clear downward movement, it is really difficult for the price of this asset to make an upward movement if we don't see a market structure shift. So yes, you can see here a point of the price. I can say that this is the first point of the price that I could consider to make a market structure shift. And I could also see here another point of the price, another target, which is located in this part of the price. And before trying to make a new long or trying to buy the euro dollar, I will first wait for 1.08382 to be broken so I can consider the first clue for a market structure shift, and my confirmation will come when the next target, 1.08719, gets broken. So after this, I could wait for a correction, and then maybe I can buy here the euro dollar to try to trade along with more probability for an upward movement. Maybe this kind of movement I will be waiting for this week with the euro dollar, but if this doesn't happen, highest probability is to keep falling, to keep with the downward structure, and I could make this target as one of my main targets, the low of 1.07613, as one of my bearish targets to break. Finally, we have Bitcoin here, and as you can see, we reach one of the last targets located at $69,400, and after this the price didn't make to break and to try to reach the $70,000 price point. And you know, maybe just an opinion from me, if Bitcoin doesn't make it to reach the $70,000 price point, it will be really difficult for it to try to have a bullish rally. So before expecting Bitcoin will reach $100,000, first try to consider that Bitcoin needs to break the $70,000 price point. So we can confirm in the daily and the weekly interval time, in the daily and weekly structure, only then we can confirm an upward structure. So don't forget, maybe the most important price point for Bitcoin will be the $70,000. And after that, well, we can continue talking about what could happen in the future. So, well, for this week, I will erase this last target. I will erase these two, and maybe I will keep with these targets for me at least. So this will be my first target for the week, $68,742. And the other target that I will consider for this week, $69,498. Two bullish targets for me this week, so maybe Bitcoin could take these targets and try to make a new upward movement. If we're talking about bearish targets, maybe one of the most important bearish targets could be here, located at $65,500. The next one will be just $350 less at this price point, and I'm maintaining the targets that are from the fair value gaps. So for this week, you will have two solid bullish targets. And well, also don't forget, we are like really close to the 70,000 target too. And you will also have 4 bearish targets to consider trading Bitcoin for this week. Thanks for watching, and if you found this analysis helpful, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest market insights. Also, you will have in the description a link to register at our broker Xchief to trade all the assets we saw today, like Forex with the euro-dollar, indices like SP500, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. See you in the next one.